In this video, we're going to rewire the dash cam in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Stay tuned. In my last video that I posted about installing a dash cam in the Jeep Grand Cherokee, one of the subscribers mentioned that it looked like I had hooked up the camera to a terminal which has direct access to the battery. And sure enough, that's exactly what I did. This particular accessory adapter, indicated by a battery on the logo, shows that it is a constant feed directly to a battery source. That's not what I wanted for my dash cam. What I wanted was for the dash cam to come on and off with starting and stopping the vehicle. The other two outlets, one underneath the front bezel in that little recess area, has a key on it, and that does indicate that it's on and off with the vehicle. Also, the one in the rear of the car has a key on it, which also means that it's on and off with the vehicle. Now, I believe that the one in the rear is customer adjustable, so you can actually change the fuse location to then make it an always on for the rear. But anyway, in my case, what I want is for the camera to come on and off with the vehicle. So we're gonna rewire the dash cam to go to the outlet underneath the front bezel. Now, I will kind of warn you that this is going to be nerve-wracking when you do it yourself. But it is pretty forgiving. When you go to pull off that front bezel, it's going to be hard to do, and you're going to panic that you're going to break it. Just go slow, go easy, and if you have a plastic removal tool, use that, and that'll make it go a little bit smoother for you. Okay, let's get started. All right, so I went ahead and started to pull off the front bezel because it definitely is a two-hand job. But you'll see these locks right here, and they go, all the way around the front bezel. So this whole front bezel cover will come off. It's just, you definitely want to use two hands, and if you have a removal tool, you want to use something like that just to help you kind of pry through there, because we don't want to crack this plastic. It'll be a little expensive to get it replaced. Anyway, I can't film this and pull it off. This is the scary part. You want to get this front bezel off. Okay, so now our bezel's loose. It's a lot of work. Take your time. Obviously, you don't want to break anything. And again, it's going to be two hands because I need to slide this out of here, but you can see where the locks are, right? And if you use a removal tool, don't get too crazy. I got a little crazy right here trying to get this edge off and put a little wrinkle in there. It's probably better just to use your hands. And you will kind of mess up your fins, but you can reset those when you go to put the bezel back in. Okay, let me get this out, and then that should get us access to that outlet. All right, this is what the back side looks like. There's a couple of plugs we'll have to undo to get that out of there. And we want to disconnect the radio from those three cables. Okay, I couldn't show you all of it, but there are two screws here, and then there's two at the bottom of this plate. So once you take the bezel out, it'll expose those screws. So you unscrew those, pull up your thing again, and then just kind of wiggle it out. It'll come right out, and here's the outlet that we're going to splice into right there, and then we'll put everything back. All right, so just like last time, we want to pull our molding down, pull the side panel off. However, this time the adapter that I got is actually a little shorter for some reason. So the easiest way is to feed this end up through here, and that'll put the box somewhere around the middle. That way you have enough line to get over here. All right, so let's get this fed up there. I'm not going to show you that because I got to do a lot of fishing to get it up in there, but you get the idea, right? So fish it here, up along the side, along the roof line, and then have enough for your camera right there. One thing that could help you get this fished out is take this screw off right here, and then you can pull this little piece of plastic off to get the wire in a little bit easier, and that's 7mm. Okay, now I have the wire run, the ends right here, and I've already tucked it all the way up in here, down again around this foam. You'll see that it's just sticks down a little bit, right? So just push it down below that foam. It'll come over here, down the edge, like this, tucked up behind there. And now we'll put the side molding back on and the trim. Now the last kit that I had a longer end on it for wiring. This is where the box ended up being this time. So I'm just going to tie it on to something in here. And that'll hold it. So I'll just zip tie it in here, probably on this wire bundle right there. And then this will close right on it and hide it. But I'll probably have to invert it, maybe like that, so that this wire will run through that channel. Okay, let me get that zip tied on, and probably need to get a bigger zip tied, but I'll get that tied on and then get all the trim put in. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So I just got a bigger zip tie and zipped it in there. It's got plenty of flexibility, so when I put this molding on, it should just collapse in there and hide real well. And this will go up into that channel. Okay. Okay, the molding's all back in place. I did have to go fishing for one of those little clips, but I got that out, put that back on there. So that's nice and snug. And you can see this doesn't stick out or anything, so it tucked in really well. And we have that wire started in this little channel, and we'll run that over. We are close to finishing. Once you get the wire over here, you want to push it up through that channel. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. I'll just use my hand. And the electrical cable, sorry, I'm cutting myself, hang on. Should be able to see my fingers. It'll come right through the side, right up through this channel, and pull it right out through there. And talk about just enough cable. I mean, it came out right. It has no more slack. So we'll be able to splice those in to those wires, set everything back together. Okay, we're already crimped in. So we got the black and the white, and the red and the pink and yellow. And I went ahead and plugged the camera in so we can do a test. And I'm going to hit the button. It's once for accessory. And camera's on. Perfect. That's on, that's off. And the camera's shutting down. Perfect. And now we're just going to reverse everything we just did. So plug that in, and then we'll get this installed. And again, these are all two-hand jobs to do this. These are 7mm, if I didn't mention that. So there's 2 here and 2 on the bottom. So let me get on the driver's side. I can get this set in, and we'll start putting the bezel and stuff back on. Okay, so that's back in. I got it screwed down. Again, there's 2 at the top here, and then there's 2 at the bottom. And then we'll just put this center console piece back in. There we go. And now the hard part, the bezel. So there's 3 plugs to plug in there, and then I'll line it up and just push it straight in. I've already fixed the vent. Hopefully I don't mess it up as I go to push it in, but anyway, just push it back in and it should lock into place, and then we're all done. So let me get that bezel out. So here's the bezel. And don't worry about not remembering where those cables go, because the sockets are color-coded. So that one's black, that one's gray, and that one's white. Same as the plugs. And you just line it up like that, and then we'll just go around and push it back into place. 100% easier to go back in than it is to take out. Okay, so that's it. We'll all wire it up. I'll just mount this camera again here. There we go. And looks like I should have left a little bit more slack. I'll see if I can pull that. I got room. Okay, I can pull that over. The cable goes in the opposite direction, and then I'll just cable tie that up right here. And that should be good to go. Okay. Hope this helped. If you want to install a dash cam in your car and hook it up to the adapter here, underneath there, instead of the always on battery one. Thanks a lot.